The demolition of the Rivers State House of Assembly is still ongoing. The reasons for the demolition are yet to be revealed, but these may not be far from the recent crisis that rocked the House of Assembly. Yesterday, a High Court sitting in Port Harcourt under the seal of Honorable Justice M.W. Danagogo restrained Martin Amewule and Dumle Mao from parading themselves and from interfering with the activities of Right Honorable Edison Ehie as Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The presiding judge, in an ex parte motion, warned against the use of thugs and police officers to forcefully gain access to the premises of the Rivers State House of Assembly complex. Joining us now is Opunabo Inko-Tariah, former special advisor to Governor Wike. Inko-Tariah, good to see you again. Thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, Ruben, and good morning, Nigerians. Rufai, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Two quick things. One, the demolition. What's your reaction to that? And then secondly, somebody's just sent me a picture now showing Governor Fubara carrying a blue box purportedly containing the appropriation proposals for Rivers State for 2024. Same being presented, it is alleged, to 4 lawmakers. So can 4 lawmakers prepare a budget, approve a budget for Rivers State? It's probably an AI-generated, report. But, this is the age of artificial intelligence. But, strange things happen in Rivers State. It's getting really curious in that your state. So I don't know. Tell me, it's artificial intelligence generated? At least the demolition we could see. Our reporters were on the ground, to confirm that. Please, can you confirm that 4 men are just about to approve a budget for Rivers State?
Well, talking of the demolition, let me start with that. It is very unfortunate that our state is seared in the flame of egocentricity, which is the bane, which is the problem we're having in the state. And we are all aware of what happened, how the Hallow Chambers was burnt. And so it is long overdue, because we are talking of integrity tests now. I am not an engineer, but we are talking of integrity tests. After the burning of the Hallow Chambers, I don't think any other repair work was done there. And I think the governor, in his wisdom, would have felt, well, there is also another opportunity to do the damage, repair the damage that has been done, and also give the state a befitting legislative house. I have not talked with him, but I believe that that is his thinking, probably. So if you talk of the demolition, well, they have to demolish. He must have gotten advice from some engineers, those who are experts in the field, and must have acted in reliance upon their advices. Talking of the budget presentation, I cannot sit down here to ascertain the veracity or apocryphalness of that, because I have just been told that the budget has just been presented, and the budget was not presented on the floor of the House because it is being demolished as we speak right now. So I cannot attest to that, whether the budget was presented or not. Maybe in a few minutes I will be able to speak on that matter. If you talk of the 4, let's not forget that the State High Court, presided over by Justice Danagogo, said the Speaker is Eddie, and Right Honorable Edison, and the Governor even before now had congratulated Edison on his emergence as the Speaker. That was some weeks back when they had that speakership saga. He congratulated him, and the court too affirmed that just yesterday, that Edison is the Speaker of the House of Assembly. But whether the members who were present during the budget presentation were just 4 or not, I don't know. I don't know if they were just 4 or not. You also asked if it is also right for 4 members to receive a budget and pass from the governor. You said something in passing when you were asking your question. You made reference to 1 or 2 cases where 6 persons had to impeach and remove the governor, a governor in a country, and so many others. I don't know. Let me not pontificate on issues I really don't know. But 4 persons I don't know if they were 4, I don't know if they were 27, I don't know if they were 30, I don't know if they were 31. Because like I said, I'm not aware of the budget presentation as at now. Right. But I'll get the details much later.
All right, Mr. Inko-Tariah, thank you for joining us. So let me ask with regards to former Governor Wike's role in all of this, since you served as special advisor to him at some point. A number of people are unhappy from our conversation with our correspondent earlier on that the people of Rivers State are unhappy about his, what could be termed interference in governance. That yes, he's, Governor Fubara is the anointed candidate of the former Governor Wike. However, the people voted for him. He's their choice. And that Governor Wike, in the interest of the Rivers people, to take his hands off what is going on in Rivers State. I'd like you to get your take on this. And then going back to another question that was asked earlier to pose to you, where are the elders, the political actors in Rivers State while this is going on between, purportedly, former Governor Nyesom Wike and the current Governor Simi Fubara?
Well, starting with the elders, I can tell you most elders in Rivers State are compromised. I'm very sorry to say. I will not want to mention names because it will not be too fair to mention names. Maybe at the appropriate time we are going to do so. And I'm very close to most of them, but most of them have been compromised. And so they've sold their dignity, their age, their pride for pottage, for money. I must tell you that. But having said this, yes, a lot of us are really peeved that the governor is, the former governor who is now the minister for the FCT, is fully involved in the whole crisis. In fact, he orchestrated it. And that is because he wants a situation where the Rivers State governor will forever be subservient to him. And that is the reason. But let me quickly also state this, that we expected that before now, Mr. President, who is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the father of the nation, ought to have intervened in this matter. His leadership should be born upon the toga of truth, candor, neutrality, and pacifying logic as a president. He shouldn't be seen to be biased. He shouldn't be seen to be partisan. And because we have the feeling, and most people will have that feeling too, rightly or wrongly. You see, meaning is not in the message, but in the message user. So most people will think that Wike is having the gumption to do whatever he's doing simply because he's the minister of the Federal Capital Territory and he has the backing of Mr. President. And if Mr. President wants to correct that impression, then he has to call Wike to order. Even if it means dismissing him from it, let him dismiss him, so that he can extricate himself from all this saga, because it is very embarrassing, really quite embarrassing. What is the problem here? The problem has to do with his part also. It has to do with ego. Wike is one man who wants everybody to be loyal to him, to be subservient. You grovel before him whenever you're before him, and you must do whatever he wants you to do. But this is a man who has said no for 8 years. It's been a case of terror. It's been a case of terrorism. It's been a case of manacled situation. You know, the whole of Rivers people have been scared of talking. For most people outside the state will tell you that Wike did so much in Rivers State. Nothing was done, I can tell you, apart from buildings and constructions. And why is he so involved in buildings and construction? Why does he release building? Why is that preferred to other development structures, such as human capital development? Because we all know that through infrastructure, through construction of roads, through construction of houses and so on, you'll be able to feather your pockets. And if you're smart enough, without being caught. And that is why he has, look at recently now, even in the Federal Capital Territory, he's talking of the building the VP's office. When Nigerians are dying of hunger, are you talking of the building of VP's office? How important is that to us right now? But that is his own concern. Okay. And we all know why. And so the governor himself has said, no, we have to hew out these people, hew Nigerian people out of this mountain of despair and frustration. And that is his problem. He has also said, no, I will, yes, whatever agreement we had before now, no problem. But we have to give a human face to that agreement because we also have to consider the people of Rivers State. Can you hear me? Because for 8 solid years, I can tell you, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So we keep talking about this agreement. Are you by any way privy to that agreement the governor had with Mr. Wike? Have you heard anything about it? Have you spoken to the governor about it? That's number one. Number two question will be, in all of this, do you honestly think that demolishing the State House of Assembly was the best approach by Governor Fubara to settle this?
Well, talking of the agreement, Wike himself did not deny it. In a press interview, press conference in Abuja. He said, they said, I had an agreement with the governor that every month I'm going to receive social amount. Okay, let us see. But was I not instrumental? Was I not the one that kept in there against the wishes of certain persons? That is, he has inadvertently admitted that there was an agreement because it was not openly dismissed. He did not deny it, was not repudiated. So that is it. And don't forget that the air is suffused with the rumor of that agreement. And nobody has come out to say, no, it is not true. So until the Wike himself comes out to say, no, it is not true, then we are all going to say, yes, that there was an agreement. That is number one. Then talking of the demolition of the House of Assembly structure, like I rightly said, we are looking at the integrity test right now. And the governor himself has not said, oh, I'm demolishing for this reason or I'm demolishing for the other reason. He has not said anything like that. Even the 27 members have not come up to say why. The other 4 members have also not come up to say why. So it's a matter of conjecture. So I cannot stand here now to tell you this was why the governor demolished. But if I have to extrapolate, then it simply means that if you consider the burning of the hallowed chambers of the House of Assembly, definitely we are talking of wires, we are talking of all sorts of things. So it is even going to be injurious for anybody to sit there. And maybe the governor is thinking, could have said, well, this is the right time for me to just build the House of Assembly of Rivers.
Hang on a minute.
Probably.
But the governor demolished areas.
But nobody has come up to say why it was demolished.
No, but the governor also demolished areas that were not affected in the National Assembly complex. It's the entire complex is demolishing now. Some areas were not affected in the burning down of the complex. And the governor is demolishing those areas too. So, plus the building that is standing well, but those are not demolishing everything. Rufai. So is that the best approach to go as regards this? Yes, sir.
Rufai, like I rightly told you, I said, first and foremost, I'm not an engineer. Secondly, I have not talked with the governor. I have not talked with Nyesom Wike. I have not talked with the 27 commissioners, assembly members, or the 4 assembly members. So everything is a matter of conduct. And I don't forget, I said he must have acted in reliance upon the advice of those that are professionals. So it is the governor that can only come on air to tell us why he decided to demolish the whole House Assembly complex and not just to renovate that side that was affected by the inferno. He's the only one. He's the only one that can tell us that. Because any other thing from any other person, I tell you, is a matter of conjecture. We are just guessing. Well, so he's the only one to tell us why. Because we might not be privy to certain information probably in his possession. Probably must have been advised by certain persons, or even not if it has not to do mechanical or professional. Maybe he also wants to. He might decide to say, let me also set up a new House of Assembly complex. After all, we are talking of the government house. We did some renovations in government house that was built out Delhi. So it's the same thing. He might decide to say, okay, let me sort of the court premises too. There are some renovations in the court premises. So he might say, okay, let me also do the House of Assembly.
Opunabo, I think
that might be his thinking.
We'll be better
because he has
off,
not come out to say why or not.
We'll be better off to hear from the governor himself, because I think the governor owes the people of Rivers State an explanation for that wholesale demolition. So don't let us keep speculating. Yes. He will need to explain to the people of Rivers State because they are the owners of that building.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, the last time we had a conversation, the last time we had a conversation on this same subject, I think it was you or maybe someone else who suggested that the minister of the FCT sends people to state executive council meeting to monitor the governor, and that the governor is monitored all the time. With the state of affairs in Rivers State now, are you aware whether or not Minister Wike is still sending spies to come and oversee the governor as at this moment? And secondly, what is the state of Wike's political structure in Rivers in the face of all of this? Because he says his concern is about his political structure.
Political structure. Yeah. But first and foremost, I wasn't the one who said the former governor, that is Wike, was spying on the governor. No, I wasn't. But what I said in that interview was that everybody surrounding the governor, the commissioner, the chief of staff and co, we are all nominated by Wike. Of course, the governor is always the appointer. But they were all nominated by Wike. So if you talk of spying on the governor, the person might not be far from the truth. And he doesn't need to send anybody to the government house to spy on the governor. He doesn't need to. If you have your chief of staff nominated by him, you have your PAs nominated by him, you have your SAs nominated by him, your ADCs nominated by him, your oddlies nominated by him, which other spy do you want?
All right.
You can't get better spies than those people.
What is the state of his political structure? What is the state of Wike's political structure?
The state of his political structure. Well, he knows the state of his political structure. He said the structure, he has the political structure, he knows the state. But if you're talking of Rivers State, I can tell you authoritatively that Rivers people are solidly behind Sim Fubara. I mean, what happened the first time they had this crisis, the first time it reared its ugly head? The kind of people that came out to defend Fubara from all over, beyond Rivers people. We are talking of even beyond the Kalahari Ijos. We are talking of both Ijos, the Iqueres, the Uplands, and so. They all came out. And that obvious any need for any proof that the man is on ground. He's being loved. In fact, a lot of people are angry as we speak right now that he's not reacting enough. But for reasons best known to him, probably he's taking his time. But he's not reacting enough. That's the anger of most Rivers people. And if you talk of the structure, if you talk of Rivers structure, then the people are with him. But if you talk of Wike's political structure, well, I don't know how strong his political structure is because I'm not part of his political structure.
All right. Okay. I'm glad you've mentioned. So in your estimation, the governor's political structure and political base is quite solid with regards to support from the people of Rivers. But let me ask you, because I think if I had asked, but I want to probe a bit further. Do you have an idea of the agreement between the minister of the FCT and the governor of Rivers State? What was the agreement and why in just less than a year in office, the governor has decided to renege on that particular agreement? Didn't he look at the fine lines before he agreed to whatever agreement that was made between him and the FCT minister?
Well, to be honest, first when the governor was approached, I just hope the clarity of what I have to say now will penetrate your minds and logic capture your judgment. When the governor was first approached, he declined. He wasn't really ready. Then there was so much pressure from Wike, best known to Wike, for the governor to say, eventually he accepted the office to run for it. He emerged as governor of the state. Probably they must have reached one accommodation or the other. It is natural. When I get into office, when you get into office, I make you a governor, you're going to kill my father. I will tell you no problem. I'm not saying this is what I know, but these things could happen. When you get into office, you're going to sleep with my wife. I tell you no problem. But when I get into office, I'll have a mind of my own. I'm not going to kill your father. I'm not going to do any of those things. Probably they have such agreements. I'm not saying those agreements we are there or we are not there. I'm not trying to tell you they happened or they did not happen. No, probably they did. But the fact is this. When you consider the 8 years of the misrule of Governor Nyesom Wike, and when you consider within 6 months what the new governor has done, we are talking of the Songhai farm. We are talking of, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Please, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, we are talking of the Songhai farm. We are talking of other human capital development efforts being put in place by the governor. And when you juxtapose that with the 8 years of the misrule of the former governor, I mean, you have no choice. Your hands are just fettered than to love the governor. And when you talk of one of the problems the governor is having with Nyesom Wike is what? The issue of the Songhai farm. He's trying to resuscitate it. Why must you go to resuscitate one of those things that we abandoned? I abandoned. Because the Songhai farm was the project, the brainchild of the former governor, Rotimi Amechi. He abandoned it. That of Bukuma, he sold it. Then number two again, how dare you appoint a commissioner without my consent? We are talking about information commissioner. You know, it's a portmanteau of issues, not just one thing. How dare you? Then the third one again is the governor got tired of going to Wike's house in order to do, we are talking of signing of mandate now. You have to go and get a premature permission from the former governor to sign your mandate. This is known, it's no secret. It's known to all. You cannot do anything. Nobody visits government house. At a point, the governor was almost incommunicado because you dare not go to government house without getting clearance from the governor. A serving commissioner on radio station in Rivers State, when they asked him a question, who are you loyal to? He said, loyal to Nyesom Wike. You dare not try that under Nyesom Wike. So the governor felt he was being asphyxiated. He was gasping for breath, for political control. And that is what is responsible. I'm not bothered about the agreements and whatsoever. Whatever agreement you had, you can have an agreement in your house with your husband as you speak right now. To say, when I get to the studio, I'm going to burn the studio.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Because he said, don't go to work today.
Inko-Tariah, thank you very much for joining us. And by the way, I just got a statement from Joe Johnson, the Commissioner for Information in Rivers State. He says that on the night of the attack on the complex, explosive dynamics were used to attack the complex, which shook it to the foundation. There were visible cracks on the walls afterwards, and the entire structure looked frail and unsafe for legislative business. After the assessment of the integrity of the complex, the experts warned the government that continuing to use the building in its present state will be disastrous. noting that the government had tried all cost-saving measures towards repair of the complex until it bowed to superior view of rebuilding the complex to a more befitting edifice. In the interim, the Rivers State government has provided an alternative venue for the House of Assembly to conduct their affairs pending the rebuilding of the complex. Joe Johnson, Honorable Commissioner for Information and Communications, Rivers State, December 13, 2023. So finally, the state government has issued a statement. Thank you, Inko-Tariah. Thank you very much.